Hey, I'm Blizzard Planet. This is Self-Friendship Podcast, where playfulness meets societal reflection. Through the lens of self-friendship, embracing, understanding, and enjoying ourselves, I hopefully inspire you to critically think, creatively think, and optimistically approach life. Imagine this. You hopped on the band rocket, and now you're on Planit Butter, a world made of delicious, sparkly peanut butter, and an adorable disco ball of self-reflection is whirling around in her transforming convertible. Thanks for joining me in my 44th episode. Some of what I'll be sharing includes my answer to last week's question, a perspective dance with Let Go, a party of one, creativity philosophers, a perspective dance with breakups, a note on rarity, and as always, a brand new question for all of us to self-reflect and self-connect. And email me if you desire, selffriendshippodcast@gmail.com. My answer to last week's question of the week, which was, what's something you're knowledgeable about that's not perceivably common knowledge? The only answer I could possibly say in this context is self-friendship. Comically, to me, when I bop around sharing the phrase, it actually is more often than not perceived as common knowledge until you visit Planit Butter or listen to this lovely little podcast. That's when the people start to realize it's not so common knowledge after all. That is the Planit Butter experience. Now, a perspective dance with circles. We say circle back as in, let's circle back to that. I offer that we say circle forward because we're moving forward. If we circle back to something, it means the thing, the conversation, we have evolved, which is to move forward, not backwards. It's nuanced, I know. That's the fun. It's also where the changes happen on our deeply subconscious little level of our oh so delicate brains. Now, a word replacement. Instead of I know, we can say affirmed. Like, imagine if people with walkie-talkies said, we moved in on the enemy. And someone said, I know. They say affirmative. They don't do that. They don't say, I know. So we can be silly and say affirmative, or we could be a little more chill and say affirmed. Now, a perspective dance with let go. Maybe we don't need to let go, we need to pass the baton. When we pass the baton, we're saying, I did everything in my power and took full responsibility for myself in relation to whatever the situation may be. And now, universe, let's see what you got. When we do that, we can chill out. We know the thing still exists. We're not letting go in the sense of like, it disappears. It doesn't disappear. It exists. You did something. Now the universe is going to come in and be like, oh, thanks for doing your part. Now I'm able to do all this cool magic. You see, that's how the universe works. Now a party of one. My friend Taylor Robbins, an awesome photographer, produced an event at Brace Service in LA called Night School with Larry Chen, another incredible car culture photographer. During the intermission, I asked Taylor to remind me what the second portion of the discussion would be. He said, Larry's going to share his philosophy of bringing creativity out from within ourselves rather than learning how to be creative. And then Taylor said, that's actually why I invited you. And I said, that's so cool. And he says, well, nobody talks about that more than you. And I was like, oh yeah. But do you know how fucking cool that is to hear? This brings me to one of my latest concepts, creativity philosophers. This is a new breed of philosophers I've identified. Those who deeply reflect on the capacity of human consciousness in relation to the expression of creativity. Sit with it. Let me know what you think about it. Are you a creativity philosopher? Do you want to be? Now, the work. From now on, when you hear or read or see someone say the work, I hope you'll choose to think of self-friendship. Self-friendship is the work. It's the solo work we do, self-reflecting and self-connecting, like Blissy, and it's the integration of all that we choose to embody in our daily lives. This is also where Party of One comes in. Having fun with ourselves, for ourselves, as ourselves, is the peak embodiment of the integration of our inner work of self-friendship. Let me know if you have any questions. Now, good and tricky. We can shift our perspective by thinking of situations as good and tricky rather than good and bad. Tricky suggests challenges or inconveniences that can be worked through, presenting an opportunity for growth. In contrast, labeling something as bad often generates negative energy, which can more likely lead to limitations and blockages. So, good and tricky. Next up is energetically speaking. I noticed I use this phrase a lot because it's really the only truth. Everything else in existence requires perception. Though the perception of energy can vary, the truth of energy itself is truth. Whereas the perception of all else is only truth in our subjective experiences. That's complicated. Again, sit with it. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to change my mind. All right, understanding that. A note on dishes in the sink. Don't leave dishes in the sink, guys. It's an extension of your energy. And if your energy is scattered with dishes, it's probably scattered in other much more important areas of your life too. That dish, that cup, it's taking up space. The point is, we don't always know where we're blocking ourselves. The dish in your sink and the garbage in your car, yeah, clean that up. Make room for something cooler. Now, a note on dating. One simple guideline for whoever we meet. Match me and upgrade me. As in, be my equal and challenge me to become more. Match me and upgrade me. Now, a perspective dance with breakups. I've heard and seen a lot of people talk about mourning their relationships post-breakup. Through the lens of self-friendship, let's consider that we're unwinding from a dynamic. We're ideally self-reflecting and self-connecting. Which parts of ourselves that were present in the relationship do we want to keep versus which parts of ourselves that were present in the relationship we want to leave with that dynamic? Then you can more effectively move forward as this new, mature version of your single self. Technically, we're always single in my eyes, in the sense of you're always with yourself, right? Okay, another conversation. Now, the Planit Butter Jet Ring of Consciousness in action. Planit Butter Jet Ring of Consciousness is the cycle of prioritizing our intuition and operating in our best interest. Self-friendship. Intuition, sensations, action, sensations again, circle forward to intuition. So, I was on my way to yoga when my intuition was nagging me, sunset, 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 as it does. And I reached a light where the left turn was PCH. If you don't know, Los Angeles, California, Pacific Coast Highway. My favorite road. And my right turn was 1 block to my yoga class. Intuition leads, so sunset yelled at me. Then I checked my sensations, and I felt excited by the thought of going on PCH and uneasy in picturing the yoga class. The action was turn on to PCH. Check my sensations again, felt amazing. Alignment. And again, a reminder, alignment, as I define it, is embodying our role in the ever-expansive universe. Now, a phrase replacement. The phrase is light pollution. My thing is that stars are lights too. And I feel like I only hear the phrase light pollution when we're talking about looking up at the stars. So I offer artificial lights, AL pollution. Now, a note on be careful what you wish for. Yeah, true, because it will come true. My issue is that it's subliminally instilling fear. Be careful, take precaution. Again, true, but that's not super inspiring nor empowering. Maybe be thrilled with what you wish for. Let me know what you think about that. I love it. Be thrilled what you wish for. I wish for my Planit Butter jet. Custom. I have a whole list of designs I won't spill to you right now. Customized, and I want to fly it, and I want to work from it, and I want to go do fun things with it, and deliver pizza to people all over the world. And Planit Butter. Sparkly Planit Butter. Now, a note on rarity. When people respond to your magical dreams and ideas that it's rare that whatever it is happens to a person, it might be true, but are you going to be rare or are you going to listen? Now, self-friendship article snippet. How dare you be independent? The willingness to do, to be, is a guiding tool leveraged to demonstrate to the universe the ownership of our infinite expansiveness. As we continue to embrace, understand, and enjoy ourselves, the willingness to do what is in our best interest and be this expansive version of ourselves requires many, multiple, a variety, an array, a vast type of countless conversations we have zero fucking interest in having. These are peak moments to experiment with our willingness to upgrade as well. As we indulge in these experiences, we increase our ability to remain grounded within ourselves, to expand our mind with other people's perspectives, and choose to self-reflect and self-connect after these types of conversations so we can move forward with greater clarity of our own perspectives and how we show up in the world. This ultimately welcomes the uni to do its magic and co-create our next upgrade. Are you willing to upgrade? Now, a perspective dance with in one ear, out the other. In one ear, through the lens of self-friendship, out my mouth, and onto this podcast. Cute. Now, the question of the week. This week, try to catch yourself responding, I know, to something, and quickly affirmed for it. Let me know how it goes, if you giggle, and the context. Email me your experience to selfriendshippodcast@gmail.com. To be notified of new episodes and receive more playfully helpful content, sign up for Planit Butter publication. The link is in the show notes. And the world's first coffee table book with a lesson, Party of One, Self-Friendship in Action, is available internationally on planitbutter.com. Please continue to enjoy and review Self-Friendship Podcast. It's super helpful. Thanks for landing on Planit Butter. I'll see you next Thursday. From my planet to yours.